The reason for Alcaraz's defeat against Norrie revealed. The Mercian tennis player, after losing the second set against NORRIE, protested a lot to his coach Juan Carlos Ferrero. The new Paris Masters has said goodbye to the Bercy neighborhood to move to La Défense Arena, which has a capacity of 23,000 spectators. And Carlos Alcaraz didn't like the change of court at all. In his debut against Norrie, Carlitos complained about how slow the court was. It happened right after losing the second set, as he turned toward his coach Juan Carlos Ferrero. "This is slower than Monte Carlo. It's slower than clay," protested the world number one. "I don't feel the ball at all, zero. I can't play here, I can't, it's impossible," he insisted. He didn't understand why he couldn't find his best tennis. "I don't know what's happening." The curse of Carlos Alcaraz at the Paris Masters 1000 continues. The Mercian couldn't overcome Norrie in his debut and bid farewell to the French tournament right from the start after losing 6-4, 3-6, and 4-6. The current world number one appeared before the media after the match and admitted that he froze up on court and would learn from this defeat. "I've trained here for many days. I've felt incredible these days, striking the ball, moving on the court, doing everything very cleanly. But today I felt I couldn't do more than I did. Credit to Norrie, of course, because he didn't let me feel comfortable and was able to come back in the match," added Carlitos himself. In addition, the Spanish tennis player admitted that he froze up on court and that the defeat against the Briton would serve as a lesson. "I liked the feeling of the court in practice. Today I didn't feel as good, I froze up. Now we go home to prepare for the finals. I'm not going to watch this match again, I'll forget it. There are matches you learn from, but I won't take anything clear from this one." Finally, Juan Carlos Ferrero's pupil made it clear that he came to this 2025 edition of the Paris Masters 1000 with confidence and enough battery to aim for a strong performance, but he really doesn't know what happened in his debut. "I came here with a lot of energy and desire. I wanted to do well, I felt confident. Other years I've felt tired coming here, but this time was different. I didn't go to Shanghai and spent many days at home. I have energy. I don't know what happened to me. This is a tournament where I struggle to play my best tennis, but I'll find a way to do it." Carlos Alcaraz is in trouble. His defeat at the Paris Masters 1000 is serious. It could mean that Jannik Sinner steals the number one spot from him in the ATP rankings, and it could happen in just a week. If Jannik wins the title in Paris, on the new La Défense Arena court, he would return to the top of world tennis. The Mercian, falling in the first round against Norrie, has lost 90 points. And they could be fatal for him. Carlos could lose that number one spot before the final tournament of the season that awards points, the ATP Finals. Before that, there will be a Davis Cup in which Sinner will not participate. Sinner gives up on chasing Alcaraz. Number one is already impossible. The Italian, who debuts in Paris this Wednesday against Bergs, says goodbye to the top of the ATP ranking. "This year, it's no longer in my hands," he said. Italian Jannik Sinner no longer counts on taking the world number one spot from Spanish player Carlos Alcaraz this season, although mathematically he still has a chance to do so during the Paris Masters 1000, the last one of the year. "Number one is already impossible. I'm not thinking about it right now, it'll be an objective for next year. This year, it's no longer in my hands. Given the year I've had, with fantastic successes, what I want is to finish the season the best way possible. If I can achieve something big, great, if not, it's fine," said the world number two in Paris, where he will debut this Wednesday in the last Masters 1000 of the year against Belgian's Zizou Bergs. Sinner said he is very satisfied with the season he has completed and noted that he's already looking forward to the next one, in which he plans to make some changes to his game to adapt to different situations. The Italian confirmed that he will not play in the Davis Cup, a decision he had already announced, and said he has no plans to change. On the eve of his debut in the Paris tournament, Sinner said that the Wimbledon final is the moment he feels most proud of from this past season and called it fantastic. "I've played many finals, at Roland Garros I played very well. But the season isn't over," said the Italian, who aims to win in Paris and defend his title at the ATP Finals in Turin, which pits the year's 8 best players against each other. Carlos Alcaraz, facing his least favorable court, "There are others who are better than me." The world number one will debut against Norrie at the Paris Masters 1000, a tournament where he has never gone beyond the quarterfinals. After withdrawing from the Shanghai Masters 1000 following his win in Tokyo, Carlos Alcaraz arrives much more rested than usual at the Paris Masters 1000, the last tournament of the year before the ATP Finals and the Davis Cup. In the French capital, where the Mercian has reached the heavens twice at Roland Garros, He has also lived through his indoor nightmare. Carlitos has never gone past the quarterfinals in the Masters. In 2021 he reached the round of 16, in 2022 he achieved his best result, in 2023 he fell in his debut, and in 2024 he lost again in the round of 16. I don't think I'm bad playing indoors, it's just that others are better than me. The Paris tournament hasn't gone well for me, but I'm getting more and more used to playing on this surface, he said in a press conference. With this year's change of venue and a much slower court, Alcaraz dreamed of at least reaching the semifinals, which would have secured him the number 1 spot. The court is totally different from last year, it's slower, and that will allow more rallies. It won't all depend on the serve, we'll be able to show more of our tennis, he explained. Even though Alcaraz has won 5 of his 7 matches against NORRIE, his indoor stats show his struggles. On indoor courts, he wins 70.5% of his matches, while on grass, 89.7%, clay, 84.4%, and outdoor hard courts, 83.1%, his efficiency is higher. Carlos Alcaraz on the calendar before debuting at the Paris Masters 1000, the number of tournaments we have to play is too high. The topic of the ATP calendar is nothing new. For weeks, several tennis players have complained about the large number of tournaments and matches they play with hardly any rest. Now that the end of the season is near, the fatigue of the entire year is starting to show. One of the most critical players is the world number 1, Carlos Alcaraz. The Spaniard, focused on the Paris Masters 1000, the last of the year, once again made clear his opinion about the schedule. I don't have an exact number of matches we should play, I can't say an exact figure, but obviously they need to do something about the calendar, the Merchant stated before his debut in the French capital. The number of tournaments we have to play is too high. We don't have enough time to train and rest. Even during the season, I think it's week after week, and we don't get the chance to have a week to properly prepare for tournaments or what's coming next in the season, said Carlos. Alcaraz and Sinner to meet in South Korea before the Australian Open. According to South Korean media The Chosen Daily, the Spaniard and the Italian will play the Hyundai Card Super Match exhibition on January 10. Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner already have a new date confirmed to face each other again on a tennis court. While waiting for the competition to bring them together again at the Paris Masters 1000 or the Nitto ATP Finals, Alcaraz and Sinner will meet in an exhibition in South Korea just before the Australian Open. According to The Chosen Daily, Alcaraz and Sinner will meet in this exhibition called the Hyundai Card Super Match, which will take place on January 10 next year at the Inspire Arena in Incheon. Although there is still no official confirmation from the organizers, this Wednesday both Alcaraz and Sinner posted on social media an image with their signatures and the Hyundai Card Super Match logo with the same message, "See you in Korea." Even though it's an exhibition, tennis fans already know they'll have a guaranteed early clash between Sinner and Alcaraz in 2026, before a possible official meeting at the Australian Open, the only Grand Slam where they have yet to face each other. Fabio Fognini defends Jannik Sinner after his decision to skip the Davis Cup finals in Bologna. In a message posted in his Instagram stories, Fognini argued that as a player, "I understand his decision to end 2025 on a high note and prepare for 2026. Asked on Instagram about the issue, the former world number 9 justified Jannik's decision, "I think it's totally understandable. As a player, I understand his choice to finish 2025 on a high and prepare for the real goals he has for 2026, he wrote. Being a key figure, Sinner, in Italy's Davis Cup triumphs over the past 2 years, Fognini extended his support to Jannik. He's 24 years old, an age at which he'll surely have another 100 chances to raise our beloved flag high. The protagonist himself was very brief when asked about the controversy. "I can only say that I accept all the criticism. I've already said everything on this subject and have nothing more to add," said Sinner, in statements collected by Uba Tennis for Sky Italia, who surely appreciates his compatriot's support.